The most useful words on a menu are often the least exciting. Please allow 20 minutes. You see a warning. A chef sees one hard clock, the dish the kitchen cannot quietly hurry when the room fills up. Because a menu is not just a list of things you can eat. It is the kitchen service plan cleaned up for the dining room. And there are 9 places where that plan still shows through. Number 1 is that timing note. It does not prove the whole dish is made from scratch. It does not even mean every part takes 20 minutes. It means one part has a lead time long enough and inflexible enough that the kitchen wants permission to begin it early. A soufflé, a whole fish, a baked dish, a large piece of meat. The reason changes. The useful information is the clock. If the rest of the table orders things that move quickly, this line may decide when the entire order is started. On the line, that sentence is not decoration. It changes the call. Somebody marks the long item, gets an answer from the section, and works the rest of the table around it. The diner reads patience. The kitchen reads sequence. Number 2, the same noun appearing in different dishes. Pickled onions in a starter, beside a main, and inside a sandwich. The same herb dressing on fish, vegetables, and a salad. One braised garnish turning up in 3 places. That is not proof the kitchen is cutting corners, and it tells you nothing by itself about quality. It shows you the prep map. A component useful enough to cross sections is part of the menu's backbone. This is one of the first things I look for when somebody asks for a change. If the thing they dislike appears all over the menu, it may already be built into several mixtures. If a neighboring dish uses the same main ingredient without it, I know there may be a clean route around it. Repetition is not laziness. It is the grammar the kitchen has chosen to write in. Number 3, the cooking verbs. Grilled, fried, roasted, charred, steamed. The nouns tell you what is being sold. The verbs tell a chef which pieces of equipment the menu depends on. A long menu is not automatically difficult. 20 dishes spread across a grill, an oven, a stove, a fryer, and a cold section can be easier to send than 10 dishes all fighting for the same heat. And one word does not prove one specific machine. Charred might mean a grill, a planchar, or a final pass under fierce heat. The pattern across the whole menu is what matters. During service, I do not count dishes. I count demands on the grill, the fryer, the burners, and the hands standing in front of them. 6 different plates can still be the same cue. Number 4, choice of, add, and swap. A diner sees freedom. A chef sees the joints in the dish. If one bowl can take chicken, halloumi, or mushrooms, the bowl has been designed as a stable base with a final choice added to it. If 6 mains offer the same 3 sides, those sides are a separate system. If a sauce can be added to half the menu, it has its own route to the plate. None of that means the food is generic. Modularity is how a kitchen gives a full room genuine choice without writing a separate production method for every possible order. The useful distinction is between a change that follows an existing joint and one that asks the kitchen to invent a new joint during service. Chips instead of potatoes may already be a button. Rebuilding a mixed sauce usually is not. Number 5, for 2. Sometimes that just describes portion size, but often it tells a chef how the item exists in the kitchen. 1 whole fish, 1 shoulder, 1 board, 1 pan, 1 piece that makes sense as a complete unit and becomes awkward when divided. That affects more than quantity. A whole item can have a different cooking time, resting time, carving point, and serving dish from 2 individual portions. When a table orders the sharing item, the kitchen does not hear 2 mains. It hears 1 large object with 1 finish time, and a table that cannot be completed until that object is ready. The wording is about sharing. The information underneath it is the kitchen's smallest workable unit. Number 6 is the small symbol people place the most trust in. Gluten-free available is not the same sentence as this dish is gluten-free exactly as listed. Vegan option tells a chef that something changes. It does not tell you which component, which surface, or which fryer is involved. That is not a reason to distrust the kitchen. It is a reason to use the symbol for what it is, the start of a conversation, especially where an allergy or celiac disease is involved. A serious kitchen wants the exact requirement attached to the order before cooking begins. Can you make this without bread? And I have a medically diagnosed gluten-related condition are not interchangeable calls on the line. The icon tells you an alternative may exist. The conversation tells the kitchen what must be kept safe. Number 7, served pink, or any line that states the intended finish. A diner can read that as attitude, the chef telling you how you are allowed to eat. On the line, it is usually more practical. The cut, the cooking method, the resting and the timing have been chosen around that finish. It may still be possible to ask for something different. But a different finish can change the texture and the time, and with some products the kitchen may have a food safety rule it will not cross. The important question is not, will the chef be offended? It is, does this piece of food still work when taken past the finish the menu was built around? That sentence is not swagger. It is a boundary condition. Number 8, market fish, seasonal vegetables, or another description that can change without the menu being reprinted. Those words do not, on their own, guarantee local, rare, or caught that morning. They create a flexible slot. The kitchen can buy what is suitable, alter the garnish, or stop selling it without making the printed menu false. A chef reads that flexibility as useful information. Ask what the fish is today and how it is cooked. The specific answer matters more than the flattering word in front of it. Fixed print is a promise the kitchen has to keep making. A flexible line gives the buyer and the chef room to reject something, replace something, or respond to what actually arrived. The word market is not a certificate of quality. It is permission for the dish to move. Number 9, the things the menu says it cannot do. No substitutions. Limited changes during busy periods. Please tell us before ordering. Those lines can sound unfriendly when you are sitting in the quiet part of the room. A chef sees the failure they are trying to prevent. A sauce may already contain the ingredient you want removed. A dish may be cooked together rather than assembled at the end. The kitchen may be small enough that one off-menu version occupies the only clean pan or the only free burner. Or it may simply be house policy. The sentence alone does not prove which. The best time to find the boundary is before the ticket prints. Once a dish is moving through several hands, a casual change becomes something every one of those hands has to hear, remember, and reproduce. A boundary is information. A good menu prints it before it becomes an argument. So that is what a chef sees before choosing a dish. The timing note is a clock. Repeated ingredients are a prep map. Cooking verbs draw the equipment. Choices reveal the joints. For two can reveal the unit. Symbols open questions. An intended finish marks a boundary. Flexible words create room to change. And the small print shows where the system stops. None of those clues tells you, by itself, whether the food will be good. That is the important restraint. A menu is evidence, not a verdict. But it does tell you what kind of promises the kitchen has made to itself. What must start early, what can bend, what shares a route, and what needs a conversation before the first pan goes on. After enough services, I cannot read a menu as a list of finished plates. I can hear the calls it will create. If you work on the other side of that menu, the prep sheets and allergen tools I use are at getprepsheet.com. That is the working version of the map we have just read. A diner orders from the page. A chef can see the room behind it.